Hi, everybody. Zweidler-McKay here with Engaging Leadership, where we're all about helping you have the career success that you want by becoming an engaging leader and engaging the leaders and the people around you to build productive partnerships and the kinds of authentic working relationships that can help you find new opportunities and get ahead. I want to talk to you today about the issue of fit. So, one of the biggest challenges I think for people in being successful in their career is that they end up in a role that isn't the right fit for them. And this can happen because they took a job that wasn't quite what they thought it would be, or maybe they, were in the job and it was working great, but then they got a boss that turned out to not be a good fit for them, or maybe the company changed directions in a way that made the company not a good fit. Whatever it is, whether you kind of missed the cues going into it or things changed once you got there. When you're in a role that isn't a good fit for you and who you are and what you want to be doing, life can get pretty tough. And I think one of the worst things about that is that when those factors are working against you, it can be hard to do your best work. It can be hard to be the kind of manager you want to be the kind of performer you want to be the kind of employee that you want to be. And the problem with that is that then that can lead you to underdeliver or to continue to deliver at a high level, but at an extreme personal cost, where every day it feels like it's just hard to get out of bed, or you're working really long hours and having a hard time keeping up, or even having a hard time understanding what you're supposed to be doing or how you're supposed to be juggling all the different priorities that are on your plate. When you're in a role where your boss isn't a good fit for you, you can feel like nothing you do is ever good enough or nothing you do is ever right. When you're in a role where the company feels like it's not a good fit for you, often it can feel like you're like an alien on another planet. The culture just isn't the right place for you. It's difficult to find people that you can connect with. It's difficult to know how you fit in. And any one of those things can lead you to a place where you can start to feel really bad about yourself because you can start to take it personally. Like if you're not performing at the level you want to perform at, or you feel like you are, but you're just not getting recognized or not getting credit for it, that can really take a toll on your sense of self-worth and on your sense of possibilities. And then, heaven forbid, the lack of fit leads to a place where you get laid off or let go. Then it can really be a difficult place to come back from, because that feeling that you're not enough, that you're not good enough, maybe if I had worked harder, maybe if I'd done this or if I'd done that, all of those what ifs start to play in. And the problem with that is that when you're walking around with that backpack full of what ifs weighing you down, it can become harder and harder to find the next job, to find the place that is going to be the right fit, because you're afraid. You become afraid of, what if I do poorly in my next job? What if it turns out that I think it's going to be a good fit there and it's not? What if this new boss isn't any better than my old boss? And you can get into this place where it's just hard to even put yourself out there. Now, we know that the best way to find the next role is to be having conversations with people, to be networking, to be building authentic relationships where people are helping you see what opportunities are out there. And when you are weighed down, hunched down, feeling bad about yourself and worried, full of what ifs, it can be really hard to show up as the kind of person that people want to refer opportunities to, or that people want to introduce to their friends. So that's why one of the most important things you can do in any kind of job search is to get really kind of cleared out from the noise of what happened before and really own the experience of being in a place that wasn't the right fit for you. And that's where the idea of fit can be so helpful, because a job that could be really great for one person might not be a fit for someone else. There's no one way of working. There's no one kind of boss. There's no one kind of company or one kind of team. What matters to you is going to be different from what matters to somebody else. So it doesn't matter that that person worked really hard and got ahead, or that that person was successful with that boss. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you're not capable. It just means that that situation wasn't the right situation for you. Now, finding a good fit can take some real work. And that's where having a coach or a program or a strategy to really guide you can be very helpful. Because when you're thinking about fit, you need to be able to be clear about what you want in terms of the role and what kind of work you want to do and what that's striving for in terms of your own personal goals and your goals for growth and development. So you have to have a fit between your purpose and the purpose of the role and the work of the role. You want there to be a really good fit with your boss. So that's where understanding your own style and what matters to you, and then being able to uncover from your conversations and interviews and once you've gotten the offer to really understand what is the style of that boss that you would be working for. That can be really important. Knowing who the team is and how people operate on the team and how that relates to how you like to operate. Are you someone who likes to think things through out loud, or are you someone who likes to go off and have some quiet time? And then what's the team like? Are they going to be a fit for whichever preferences you have? That's another really important kind of thing to be able to ask about and learn about when you're doing your job interviews, and have a real strategy around how you're going to uncover that information. And then finally, are you a fit for the company? What's the company culture? Do people work long hours? Are they work hard, play hard? Do they go home at 5? And how does that feel for you? Which is a better fit for you on that dimension? And then, all the other dimensions that you would want to consider. Does their mission fit with your purpose? Does do their practices out in the world fit with your values? All of those are really important things to consider. And all of that can be really overwhelming, especially if you're in between jobs and you're in this place where you're mostly just worried about finding the next one. And the biggest mistake people can make is jumping into that next job to have a job and not doing their due diligence, not doing their homework on really understanding what do they need, what's going to be effective for them, and then how do they make sure that the role that they're jumping into is going to be one where they can really shine. That's where a coach can really help, and that is exactly what I support my clients to do. It's really understand what do they want, where do they want to go, and then what kind of role is going to be the right kind of fit for them. And we talk about that. I help people with that, whether they're in a job and they want to move up, and it's about figuring out how to craft that next role for them inside their own company or inside the organization they're in already, or if they're wanting to transition, either because they've decided that, there's not really anywhere more for them to go in their current role, or they've been laid off or they've left a job that wasn't a good fit and now they're trying to find the next one. So whatever that situation is, one of the things that I really help people do is figure out what is going to be that piece that your puzzle piece fits into so that you can be successful. If this is intriguing to you and you'd like to know more and have a conversation about what your interests are and what would be a good fit for you and how to figure that out, feel free to book a call with me. You can do that at zmcoach.net/call. I'd be delighted to talk to you about where you are in your career right now, what's got you feeling stuck, and how we can get you to that right fit role that's going to get you moving ahead and excited to get up every day to go to work and taking your career where you want it to go. So book that call today and let's talk. zmcoach.net/call. Take care.